Seen the title and the thumbnail, we're gonna make beef and broccoli, Chinese takeout style. Let's go. All right, so here are the ingredients we're gonna use today. So let's do a quick roll call. We have our broccoli florets here. We have our sliced beef here. We have some oyster sauce, sesame oil, soy sauce, hoisin sauce. We have some brown sugar. Here we have the green part of the green onion and the white part of the green onion right here. Salt, pepper, fresh garlic, some olive oil, some rice vinegar, some fresh ginger, and some corn starch here, guys. So these are the ingredients. Let's go ahead and continue. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna season our beef, and we're just gonna season it with some kosher salt. And this is about 1.5 teaspoons of kosher salt. Guys, you can use as much or as little salt as you want, but I'm using 1.5 teaspoons. And we're gonna do 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. And we're just gonna get this mixed in here like that. So we're gonna set this aside, let it rest, and we're gonna continue. All right, so what we're gonna do now is start with our corn starch mixture. So we're gonna take 1/3 cup of water. We're gonna add our corn starch, and we're just gonna get at a mix like this, kind of get it all combined. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna start adding more ingredients. We're gonna start with our sesame oil, our soy sauce, our brown sugar, rice vinegar, hoisin sauce, and lastly our oyster sauce. And we're gonna give this a mix. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna set this aside and we're gonna continue. All right, so we're at our cooktop now. We're gonna add 1/4 cup of water. And we're going to let this come up to temperature to a slight boil. Add our broccoli. Now we're gonna cover it and we're gonna let this steam for 3 to 5 minutes until your desired doneness. All right, so now it's been about 3 minutes. So we're gonna go ahead and pause our heat. Let me test it out, make sure it's at my desired doneness. I'm gonna test it out real quick. So for me, this is great. Now we're gonna take this and place it in a bowl and set it aside, all right? All right, so now we're gonna unpause our heat and we're gonna bring this to a medium-high heat. We're gonna add our olive oil. And once that gets up to temperature, we wanna start adding our beef. And we're gonna try to add this as much as we can in a single layer. If you have to cook it in batches, then that's fine. And guys, you want to cook this until it's cooked thoroughly, all the way through. All right, guys, so this batch is ready. I'm going to go ahead and pause this, and I'm going to add this to a bowl here I have on the side, and we're going to continue cooking the rest of our beef. All right, so it looks like we are good here on our meat, on our second batch. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add the first batch back in here. We'll turn it down just a little bit. Now we're gonna add our broccoli back into our pan, along with our garlic and our ginger. And we wanna get that moved around in here real quick. All right, now, so we're gonna start adding our sauce. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna give it a quick stir like this before we add it. And we're just gonna pour it over here, just like that. And we're gonna cook this for about a minute to let this sauce thicken. All right, guys, so it looks like we are there. We're about 2 minutes in. So I'm gonna pause this, or turn our heat off rather, and we're gonna take a look at what we have. Man, that looks so good. So the last thing we're gonna do before we go to our final presentation is add our white onions and our scallions, or green onions, whatever you wanna call them. And we're gonna get those mixed in like that. And now, guys, we're gonna head over to our final presentation. All right, guys, so right here, I have a bed of rice right here. So now what we're gonna do is just start adding our broccoli and chicken stir fry, or whatever you wanna call it. And there you have it, guys, broccoli and beef stir fry. Let me know what you think about this recipe in the comment section below. Let's get the conversation started there, guys. And if you need the measurements, they're in the video description below. Let's go ahead and get into quality control because I'm ready to taste this out. Let's go. All right, so we're here for quality control, guys. You already know what this is about right here. The favorite part of the show for me and for everybody, because I know everybody like to see me eat it and or taste it out just to make sure that it's good for you guys to eat. So let's go ahead. I'm just gonna try one of these pieces of sliced beef with all that stuff. Just make sure it's tender. Oh, melting in my mouth, guys. All right, so I did put this over a bed of rice. Man, I tell you, if you like Chinese takeout, that beef and broccoli, man, that stuff is so good, and this here is delicious. What I like the most is that the meat is tender. I hate tough beef. Okay, I'm gonna tell you how to get this tender. Now, what I used was flank steak, and before you start cutting it, you wanna freeze it, put it in the freezer for about an hour before you start cutting it. And then that way it's firm, and just start cutting you real thin slices. And not cut against the grain. So if the grain is going this way, you want to cut across the grain if that's how you see it. That's how you get the real tender beef. So guys, I'm not gonna hold you up because I know y'all don't want to see me eat all this. And I don't want y'all to see me eat all this. So until then, I'm your cook. Man, this is good. Jesus. Y'all already know this is all wings everything. And remember, I'm not a chef, just cook a lot. And I am out. Peace.